I don't even know why intro it. It's the Gaming with a Dad UFC recap. We haven't come up with a name for these yet.
No, but I will say that every time we do these in person in my basement in Ontario, Canada, that it's usually there you go. That's what I said. I thought I wasn't in the shot.
Well, now you are.
I always come looking perplexed like this with my phone in my hand, trying to figure out what it was I just saw.
Being mauled by your dog. She's fine. So, if you guys think of a name for these, I think the Gaming with a Dad UFC recaps kind of would be what it's going to be. But leave in the comments down below if you guys have any idea. I picked this card way wrong. I got the first fight right.
You got the first card way right.
I got the first fight super right, and then after that it was kind of Steve's day. Steve took over again this week.
So here's the thing: America got the marquee, the standout prelim fight completely wrong. We all thought that Corey Anderson was being led in there to make Johnny Walker
to the slaughter.
Good. But listen, in our defense, here's the thing: the man has been knocked out horribly by guys like, what's that British dude's name? I can't remember the guy's name.
Doesn't matter.
Does not matter. But Corey Anderson put on quite a clinic tonight. I wouldn't even call it a clinic. He just mauled that guy
hit him really hard, super early, and just put him away. It was actually a really good fight for Corey Anderson.
Yeah, I don't think he brought the hype train to a complete halt.
He doesn't. You know what? He doesn't get a title shot next, though.
No, he doesn't.
For that fight, I think he still has to get through Reyes.
Yes, so that would be the fight to make next.
If he could get through Reyes, I think he's at least at that point earned a title shot.
Yeah, but he's earned some of my respect for sure. Not that he needs it.
Absolutely.
I call him Old Hershey Kiss, not because of the complexion of his skin, but
that's a fair point.
It's the man's got the most intimidating nipples in the game. And then we had the fight I got way wrong. Did not see this coming.
The Kevin Lee Gregor Gillespie fight.
Yes.
No one saw Kevin Lee winning other than me. I'm the only person.
You're the only person that picked him.
I'm the only person who picked him. That combo, that was it, a right hand to a left high kick?
No, it was actually
a left hand to a right high kick.
It was a left. I think it was it was a right jab to a left high kick. Yes.
Yeah. So right hand to left high kick and just slept the poor kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were throwing bombs in there for a second. It was looking very competitive. I was worried for Gregor because I was like, oh man, he probably should not be doing this with Kevin Lee at this range. If it was more of an inside thing, then I'm like, okay. I always think the shorter guy has the upper hand when they're throwing punches in the clinch and stuff like that. But Kevin Lee looked good, man.
He looked really good.
Shut me up. I had been saying all week, does not matter if him and his mother moved down in the TriStar. He looked good. Jab was looking good.
Stiff jab. Yeah, I was going to say that. But that's what that camp is kind of known for is walking people down with that jab. And absolutely looked. I think Kevin Lee looked really good.
He did, man.
We'll see what his next fight is, right? Because that's the real. Two to make it true.
Yes.
To see what his next test is. Also, I don't think it actually stops Gregor Gillespie's hype train that much.
No.
He does get knocked out by Kevin Lee, but he comes back, wins his next fight, he's right there again. And I think he's good enough too.
Everyone gets caught, and it wasn't like it was a lucky one. Like he just got he got set up with the perfect kick.
Yeah.
Who do you have Kevin Lee fighting next in that division?
I don't know. Who's fighting next in that division is the real issue.
Yes.
Right. They still haven't announced Khabib and Tony. No. Right. And then Conor's going to fight in that division at some point against Gaethje or Cowboy. What does Cowboy do? What does Gaethje do? That 155 division is maybe the best division in the UFC.
Most competitive right now for sure. Has the most eyes on it for sure.
But you have to see what the top 6 are doing. Yes. Before we move on with Mr. Kevin Lee. Has he fought at Barboza once? He beat him once.
Beat him once.
It might be an interesting fight again.
Actually, you know what? Paul Felder's fighting at 155, isn't he?
Paul Felder might be a good fight.
Yeah, Paul Felder would definitely be a good fight for him. And
who else is right there at 55?
What's the rankings for the
155? I don't know what the rankings are offhand. We record these super early in the morning. It's 1:30.
34.
It's 1:30.
We're both. Anyway, we'll find Kevin Lee someone to fight. We'll email Dana. We'll get all that stuff set up.
We'll get Rogan copied on that email
because he's the real power in the UFC.
Right, we deciphered that tonight.
And then let's see who else. The man, the myth, the legend.
Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis.
You know what? That was actually, the picks that I lost, other than the Masvidal Diaz, they were actually really close.
Yeah.
Right, they were really close. It was a one decision away from me actually having a really good card.
The Thompson.
That one was not close.
But hey, listen, you definitely picked the smart person to win this fight. If I'm looking at Ivanov's record and looking at who he is, coming out of competitive sambo.
Yep.
Winning in Bellator, coming over to UFC, lost his fight to JDS, but then beat another guy. And the guy's actually a really good fighter. You didn't see it tonight.
Actually, you did see it tonight.
Yes.
That guy is tough. He took everything Derek Lewis threw at him, and I still think he outstruck him. Not outstruck as in like technically, but he threw more strikes than
landed more strikes for sure.
Right.
Like a majestic bird flying in from the mountains.
And Derek Lewis. Is this a first decision? No, second decision. We already deciphered this. He beat.
This one was more competitive than that decision.
Yeah, he beat Francis by a fluke decision, to be honest.
But let's focus on what Derek did right. And I was making light of it, but Derek pummeled out of some really difficult clinches against the cage.
Yeah.
He reversed some submissions. He had him in an arm lock a few times.
He had him in Americana. In a deep Americana too. And and he just let it happen and then just kicked out.
Yeah. It looked really good on the ground, and his cardio held up.
Yeah.
The big guy did not waver.
I don't know what he changed in his camp going into this fight.
Oh, strength and condition.
Maybe he showed up to his camp for this fight.
Absolutely.
That could be it. But he looked, actually for Derek Lewis, looked way better. And if he continues down this path, he actually might be a legit fighter.
Yeah,
other than the man who carries death in his hands.
Which one's that? Francis Ngannou or
Derek?
Oh, just Derek.
He might be. I get Francis hits real fucking hard.
Francis hits really hard, but he's also starting to learn to piece together combos too, and that's a problem.
But Derek might just hit just as hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Neither of them. I think Francis has a better chance of beating Stipe. A little bit better.
Yeah.
Than he did the last time.
But also, obviously, they both have a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
Right? Because they both carry just the gnarliest of power in their hands. But
you want to root for him because it's amazing to see where he's come from. So his conditioning is getting better.
Yeah.
He's obviously doing something better. I was saying earlier this evening that I think the next fight for Derek Lewis, depending on what happens with Volkanov and Hardy, is Hardy and Lewis. I think that's
But what does Lewis have to get from beating Greg Hardy?
Okay, I'm glad you asked because I was just working that out in my head.
Right. He
becomes the instant PR sweetheart.
He already is, though, because he's funny.
No, in a different way. So now people are going to be like, oh, this is the guy who beat that guy that did that thing.
Volkov is going to beat him.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I think Volkov may piece him up, but I think this is a good chance that
Hardy breaks through.
Yeah.
I think Volkov wipes the floor with him.
Well,
Hardy's coming in off of on short notice.
Yeah.
Right? He actually doesn't have...
That works in his favor because he's just coming off a camp.
But he doesn't have good cardio.
He doesn't have good cardio, but he's already in shape. He's in shape.
But...
He's got the asthma pump.
That was so funny. I unfortunately don't see Hardy being able to last through Volkov the way Derek Lewis did. It's the only chance he has.
Listen to me. I'm going to tell you right now that smart money says Volkov wins the fight.
Yeah.
Do not be surprised if Greg Hardy wins that fight.
Progressing at a level that is incredible. Good for him, right? For sure, good for him.
Him and Lewis be an interesting fight. Also,
if he beats Volkov.
If he beats Volkov.
Yes, because that would either solidify Hardy in the heavyweight division or push him back down where he belongs.
Or if Lewis wants to run anything back, I think he lost to Mark Hunt, and he almost retired after that loss, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
Derek Lewis did. So it'd be interesting if they run that back.
I don't think Mark Hunt's fighting in the UFC anymore.
Per the lawsuit or him just retiring?
I think he fought out his contract and then...
Oh, they just didn't renew it?
Yeah, okay. I think that's kind of where he sits.
Heavyweight's very shallow. It's hard to pick a fight for him right now.
It's hard to pick any fight for anybody at heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he looked good.
You know what? And the stock for Ivanov there goes...
Way up.
Way up.
Way up.
Because he's an interesting fight against Francis apparently now too, because he could take anything that Lewis threw at him.
Absolutely.
Right.
But I think if Francis... Derek Lewis versus Alistair Overeem, who's also fighting soon, so he's going to make it to his own fight. But
Lewis doesn't fight very often.
Derek Lewis versus the winner of Stefan Struve and
Ben Rothwell.
Ben Rothwell would be an interesting fight. Bunch of freak show.
Yeah, he's gonna knock both of those guys out. We know he's gonna knock Struve out.
Ben Roth actually beat Alistair Overeem once.
Anyone and everyone would beat Alistair Overeem at this point. So it's like if you told me you would beat Alistair Overeem at one point, I wasn't gonna be impressed.
So big ups to Lewis, man, and then
you know what? For him going decision, not looking that tired at the end of it,
he looked great.
Yeah, he escaped a few submissions. He definitely reversed a takedown at one point against the Sambo champion.
Yeah,
which is incredible. He got double underhooks on him at one point, which is the first time I think he's ever done that. And was able to like hand fight a little bit against him
but surprisingly enough, we were joking during the fight. Derek Lewis has actually won a couple of times via ground and pound from a takedown.
He has the second most significant ground strikes in the UFC or something.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean the guy seems like he can get a takedown, but he's also never shown the ability to do anything else other than hit hard.
Exactly.
Right. If he hits someone and takes him to the ground, then that's different than shooting a double leg or a hip toss is what I think he did over.
I think he is
in this fight.
I agree with you. He's taking his camps more seriously. Obviously, he had he gave a lot of props to his strength and conditioning team there that came to the ring with him.
Yeah.
And I think that he's starting to see himself as more than a parody. Like he's like, I'm not just a joke. Like I'm an actual fighter. I fought for the belt. I can
he
fight
could
for
have
the
a
belt.
legitimate belt title run.
Yeah.
The UFC heavyweight division isn't long for DC and Stipe anymore.
Nope.
Stipe probably has 2 or 3 fights left in him.
Yep.
And I think he's gone. DC has this one fight against Stipe apparently, which I think they hope they're going to run in February.
Yeah, and then he's gone for sure.
Then he's gone, right? Andre Arlovsky can't stay in. Is Arlovsky heavyweight now?
He's been heavyweight.
Yeah, so he can't be there much longer.
And we're back.
And we're back. Camera doesn't have it. I'm buying a new camera. This is pretty much it.
So then what I thought was actually I thought this was the best fight of the night.
Yes.
Stephen Thompson, just like I predicted it would be, versus Vicente
Luque.
We're gonna call him Vincent.
Vincent Luque.
I thought this was an amazing fight, a return to form for Wonder Boy. Actually, you know what? Forget the script in my head. Wonder Boy looked amazing.
He did.
He looked amazing.
He looked really good.
He pieced that poor kid up.
I did. Yeah.
Very nerve-wracking. We were all waiting for the moment he got hit and folded up like a piece of paper.
Man, that guy surprises me every time he fights. Every time he fights, I learn how fast, Wonder Boy is again.
And technical.
He's one of the most accurate strikers in the UFC. I would think.
The most accurate striker according to the stats.
There you go.
Yeah.
He throws with his hands down. He hides everything really well. He's so fast that it's hard for anyone to keep up. And he fought it. You say he usually slows the fight down.
Yeah, he fought a faster pace. Yeah,
he fought a fast pace, actually high volume.
Yep.
Really high volume fight. Twice knocking Vicente Luque down with
sidekicks. Yeah.
Yeah, with sidekicks like karate style.
Yeah.
Right, and just catching him on the way in, and just an incredible.
There was one point where his offense turned up so much from being a counter striker to where he was actually leading the fight and he was going more offensive. He caught him with a couple of check hooks that really just shut down Vicente's offense. Because at the beginning of the first round, Vicente was having a lot of success with the lower leg kicks, and I thought that was going to be
the game plan. That should have been the game plan for sure, because that was going to stop him from.
But Wonder Boy adjusted. He adjusted his stance and
his timing.
Yep.
Really, what it was is he was hopping back and forth, and every time he went to go throw a kick, he was hopping back,
and he was catching him with a check hook or a cross.
And his jab looked really good. He looked
amazing.
He stopped him with a jab 3 or 4 times.
He actually really hurt Vicente. The amount of damage had just started adding up over the rounds, and then finally I was like, oh, he's gonna put this kid away, but he didn't, and always showing a lot of class. But so, what do you think for Wonder Boy? Does he stay at 170?
Yeah, I think he does.
You think so?
He doesn't struggle making the weight, right?
No.
He doesn't struggle making the weight. If he moves to the 185, he's going to be the fastest striker at 185.
Yes.
Right. That's the only thing that would make me go, hey, why don't we move to 185?
Right.
Is because he's going to be so fast. But then you have to him versus Stylebender would be an interesting fight, but Stylebender puts him away, I think.
Yeah, Stylebender, I think is shout out to Zach, the other Zach that was here tonight. I think Stylebender is a little bit bigger and has a little bit more power. Get away from that computer.
What a dog.
I think Stylebender has a bit more power, but I actually see Wonder Boy giving him a run for his money.
Yeah, better than any of those short guys.
Stout little men.
Yeah. You know, any of the Whitakers or the Gaslams at 185.
But see, here's the problem. So let's say Gaslam comes back down to 170, or Steven goes up. Wonder Boy bumps into a guy like Gaslam.
Gets put down.
Exactly.
You know, he has to fight one more at 170.
Yeah.
And then we see where he goes after that. Who does he even fight at 70 at this point?
I would say, what's the...
Do you, like, feed Askren to him?
No one wants to see that.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Wait, what's this guy? No, Gaethje's at 155.
Yeah.
Who's a good matchup for him?
It's weird because he's beat and lost. Yeah, like he's beat.
Actually,
he's only lost 4 times.
I'm calling luck on an Anthony Pettis shot.
Yeah, no, for sure. He was working Anthony Pettis, and then Pettis hits him with a Superman punch off the cage. That was. I think he broke his hand off of it, right? Yeah. Pettis, I think, broke his hand off of it, so... I mean, it was a lucky punch for sure.
And nobody wants to see Wonder Boy versus Tyron Woodley again. It would be interesting to see Wonder Boy versus Carlos Condit, but...
If Wonder Boy keeps the pace that he did in this fight against Woodley, then I would want to see it.
Yes.
I don't want to see...
That's not going to happen.
No,
That's not going to happen.
I don't want to see the Counter-Strikers delight again. This would be what, 3?
Yes, that would be 3. There's no reason to run it back.
There's no reason to run it back other than to make sure Tyron Woodley never gets a title shot again.
Yes.
Because that's the only thing the UFC wants to do right now.
Actually, I don't see him running. I don't see Tyron coming back to the welterweight division. But has Carlos Condit officially retired?
I'm not sure.
I would definitely watch Stephen Wonderboy Thompson against Carlos Condit, or if Cowboy for some reason came back up to 170.
That would have been an interesting fight. They never fought?
Yeah, never fought.
Okay, yeah, that would be really interesting, actually.
And then
I think Wonderboy pieces up Cowboy, unfortunately.
100%. But it's time for Cowboy to retire.
It might be. Yeah, it might be. He's on his retirement tour right now, let's be honest. Yes. He plays 2 or 3 fights left on his contract.
Yes.
Probably super lucrative. I wouldn't want to give him up either. Yeah. The potential that they're throwing Conor to him at some point very shortly. That
is outrageous, too.
It is outrageous. And, I mean, if he can get him to the ground, he destroys Conor, but... You know, getting Conor to the ground is hard. We saw that in the Khabib fight. He struggled to get him down the first few rounds.
Welterweight's looking... You know what? Rory McDonald should come back. No, Rory McDonald's very last fight was against... Guess who?
Douglas Lima.
No, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in the UFC. Was
I thought we were talking about his last fight. He just lost to Lima.
He lost to Lima, but that's it for him. In my opinion, like...
He wants to become a pastor. He wants to retire.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
God bless you, man.
Rory McDonald came out, not this fight, but the fight before this, because there was a Grand Prix going on in Bellator, that he struggles to pull the trigger in the ring now.
Are you buying that, or you think that's just something he's saying?
He slowed down in that fight.
Yeah.
From what Rory fights, and he didn't look the same way against Lima that he did. For the last few people. So that could be it. He's having another kid, right?
I didn't know he had a kid.
Yeah, he has one. He's having a second.
Oh wow.
He might be done entirely.
Right.
Right. So we're not sure if even he's going to come back. Would be an interesting fight. They said they've already fought.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. So it leaves.
There's a lot of people on this card that are in weird positions now of where they're going to be through the next fight.
Yeah.
Right. And it's
who is it? I'm trying to think of who. I need to look up the rankings. We'll probably have to edit something into this where we can talk about it again. But at 170, that's right, more work for you, goddammit. At 170 right now, I'll just let Wonderboy celebrate, and I think the better move for him right now, because he does not beat Usman. He doesn't. He does not beat Usman or Kobe.
He doesn't have the power.
No.
He has the volume, he has the accuracy, he has everything. He doesn't have the power, I don't think.
No.
Obviously, he'd come in here and murder me, but...
Literally kick through that door right now and just beat us both.
It would be the coolest kick I've ever seen.
But if he goes up to middleweight, maybe his chin recovers a little bit. Maybe
his chin was amazing tonight. I can't even knock him for that. The question that everyone had tonight was, what was his chin going to be like?
Yeah.
I couldn't even question it tonight.
Yeah.
His chin was incredible.
Yeah.
Right. He took a few in the first round, and then obviously he went away with the fight after that. Yeah. I think a few in the first round that would have
up against the cage, and then he was able to circle out,
put him away.
Yeah, I actually think the cage saved him on one. For sure, like he got
bounced back,
and he bounced off the cage. He's like, not again.
He's like, he saw Pettis' hand, and it was like, no. So I don't.
Shout out to Wonder Boy for that one.
Yeah, for me, he's in the top 5 of the most exciting people to watch in the UFC right now.
I just realized I got 4 of 5 on the main card. I thought I did horrible.
No, you didn't. You got 3.
No,
because we both got Kelvin Gastelum wrong.
Oh, that's right. Kelvin Gastelum didn't win his fight.
That was the reason I only got 1.
That was a horrible fight.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
There's not even much to say about the fight.
No.
Darren Till played it really slow and really safe, really slow,
smart. Yes.
Fought tactically. That was a hey, you guys are probably going to get a title shot soon fight.
Yeah.
Right. Unfortunately, Darren Till gets murdered by
Israel. Yeah. He gets pieced up.
He gets murdered by Yoel, I think.
Yes.
Paul Acosta.
Yes.
Whitaker. I literally don't even know if I know anyone else in the 185.
Actually, I don't know if he gets murdered by Whitaker and Acosta. After watching Acosta against Yoel, who was a totally different fighter than Darren Till, there's and just all right, go back and watch Acosta versus Uriah Hall. Not a sweep.
Okay.
Very competitive fight.
Okay.
Against a guy he was supposed to come in and steamroll.
Okay.
And he got slowed down and got caught a few times. And I think his chin isn't as big as his muscles.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree. I actually thought you all won that fight.
I did too.
So I thought you all won that fight against Costa. But I think that's the reason they're going to give you all this title shot against
100%.
Everyone thinks he got robbed.
Who are you picking in that one?
I'm gonna need time to do some research for that one because no one fights the same after they fight Yoel, and there's a reason for that.
Right.
He's a 50-year-old steroid using.
Never got caught using steroids.
Yeah, but I mean he doesn't pass the eye test. He doesn't pass the eye test. He doesn't pass the sniff test. Somehow he passes the piss test. But yeah, I actually don't know. And that one I might do a pick 'em on.
I'll do a pick 'em on.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are, Steve. We have some technical difficulties on the last part of the in-person UFC recap, so here we are finishing it up. I think we need to talk about Gastelum's fight and the main event, and then we're also going to come back and talk about who Kevin Lee and Wonder Boy should fight next. It was last night now, so it was it's not as fresh as what it was, right?
Right.
Kelvin Gastelum lost I think a really slow-paced, weird decision against Darren Till. I've had time to go back and think about this fight now that to be honest with you, didn't enjoy that much. Now that I think about it, I usually really like watching Kelvin Gastelum fight. I usually like watching Till fight.
Yes.
It was just slow.
Yeah.
It was just slow. Till fought smart.
He did fight smart, and he controlled the pacing of the fight, which in retrospect, I guess, was a game plan of theirs. And when it comes to something like slowing down the pace of a fight, I actually believe a fighter when they say, oh yeah, this was our plan. We wanted to fight smart. We wanted to fight safe.
Yep.
And he definitely used the distance, used his height advantage, relied heavily on his kicks. Had a couple of 1-2s that he gave out to Gastelum.
Yep, kept his distance, and it just sucks for Gastelum to have to fight all these guys that are way, way bigger than he is.
It's true, man, and it's funny because even at 170, there were guys still taller than him. So where does he go from here? You think he should go back down to 170? I said they kicked him out of that division.
Yep.
Dana's actually the one that kicked him out of the division.
Yeah.
Twice, by the way. They gave him one more chance, and then he blew it, and they were like, that's that.
I think you need to get him a nutritionist. I think he needs to go back down to 170, and I think he fights Woodley. And then whoever wins that gets the title shot after whoever wins Usman and Covington.
Have you ever seen Kelvin Gastelum versus Woodley 1?
No.
The first fight? Oh, yeah. Nobody wants to see that fight again.
Oh, really? Was it bad?
Yeah. Oh, man, it It was a stinker. When I
Really?
think about it. Yeah, actually, Woodley won by decision, but it actually wasn't that bad of a fight. It was just wasn't very fan friendly. It
How
was
long
more of
ago
a
was
lot.
this?
Oh my goodness, this is before Woodley was champion when he was
15.
making his campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, 2015. He won a decision.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You know, maybe I don't want to see it, but I think that's the right fight, right?
Right.
Darren Till went up to 85. They
Mhm.
threw him right to a number 3 guy,
Right.
and there's a chance that he gets a title shot soon, again for some reason.
Yep. Sooner rather than later.
Yes. Yeah. The next 2 fights will probably be a title shot if he wins his next one for Till.
Right.
And then I think Haslam has to go down and fight people his size and not people just way bigger than he is. He actually,
Well,
I think he
at
struggled to
least
make
vertically.
Right. He struggled to make 85.
No, he doesn't struggle to make 85. What he struggles to do. So here's the problem. He struggles to compete at middleweight because of his height and stuff like that. But you're right about that. It's a struggle for him, but he's such a game opponent that he's always made it look like, oh man, like almost every fight the narrative has been Gaslam's, except for with Tim Kennedy. They're like, oh, he's a little shorter. We're gonna see how this
Yeah.
works out. But he always guts it out and he wins somehow. In some instances, so impressively that guys retired from the fight. I think he should go back down to 170. I agree with you. I'm not entirely sure I want to see Tyron Woodley versus Gaslam, but you know what? Sometimes these two Pete's can be better than their first fight, so I'll roll with that one.
I just think
I'll
that's
roll with it.
for the
But
rankings. That's a good fight.
If it's bad, Zach, if it's bad,
Well, I already called Dana. We're making this happen. It's in March or April when the Tony versus Khabib fight's gonna be. It's on the same card.
They're never gonna announce that fight. That fight is never going to happen.
March or April 2020.
You know why they don't want to announce that fight? Because one of them
is gonna get hurt.
Die.
Yep.
Yeah, before the fight.
Die. One of them is literally going to die. Yeah. Or Ferguson's gonna get kidnapped by aliens or something.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone more compelling at 170 for Gaslam to fight. I would like, I would definitely watch Tyron. Who else is lumbering around at?
It would have to be the top of 170 though.
Yes, let's look at the rankings.
I don't. Yeah, 170 is kind of, you know what, as fun as 170 is right now, it's not that good of a division. I don't.
Oh, it's not. There's no one really
Usman,
standing out right
Covington, Masvidal, Woodley, Leon Edwards, and then Nate Diaz is number 5. RDA, Maya, Askren, Lawler, Pettis.
Okay, so here's a good fight. If he still remains at welterweight, I don't know how close he is to retiring. I would watch Kelvin Gastelum versus Leon Edwards or Rafael dos Anjos.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
I would definitely watch that. We
yeah,
don't know
Leon Edwards would be a good fight, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, Leon Edwards would be a good fight. Okay.
Yeah, don't know what Jorge Masvidal is going to be doing. Don't think he'd be repeating with Nate Diaz anytime soon. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
I'll go with
them. As much as Nate wants that fight, I don't think Jorge Masvidal wants that fight now.
Not right away.
No, he gets a title fight. Right after that, he gets the next title fight.
But here's the thing, right? So if he loses the title fight, nobody wants to see the BMF fight, right?
No. Yep, you're right. Nope, you're 100% right. That's the unfortunate thing.
I'll go with Tyron Woodley. If we can't get Woodley, let's get Leon Edwards or Rafael.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. We can go Leon Edwards after that.
Wait. How could we miss such an obvious pairing? And maybe you were going to say this, but it's going to jump to this segment. So I'll just wait. I'll wait. Let's talk about. Let's talk about
the main event. There's really not too much to say about the main event, right?
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Controversial stoppage. That wasn't actually that controversial if you saw the pictures afterwards. Did you see the picture with him getting all the stitches?
I did see the picture. I was gonna
20 stitches or something.
Yeah, his eye definitely looked like a piece of jerky. That last Pete.
Really serious. Around. But did you see it compared to the Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury's was
way worse, dude.
Was 30% longer.
Yep, and wider.
And wider.
Yep. New York State Commission.
Yeah, it was at MSG, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm asking, do you think it's the ghost of New York? Because I've been doing some research and a lot of MMA
Yeah.
fighters. Chris Weidman says he'll never fight in New York again,
Yep.
only because he gets knocked out every time he fights at home. Like Mike Chandler, former champion at
Chandler
Bellator.
is the one
Yeah.
that that same
Yep.
doctor said that he had a broken leg.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I saw that on
Yep.
Twitter after too. You know what? After seeing the pictures afterwards, I wasn't as mad at the stoppage as I was originally.
All right. All right.
I still don't like the stoppage in that, like, I you know, it's not really an important fight, but in that, there's so much hype around it, and there's so much to that fight. You
Right.
you make that exception not to stop it there. I think, especially past
you give
history
it another
with
round.
right, especially past history with Nate Diaz. We knew Nate Diaz because at the end of that third round, he was coming on strong.
Yeah.
We want to see where he goes in the fourth round, and if he gets pieced up like he did in the first three in the fourth round,
stop it.
then you stop it. Or if it gets worse, then you stop it. But you gotta let it go another round, I think.
Absolutely, I do not disagree with that at all. The thing about it is, so like all the conspiracy theories aside, I'm trying to look at it from the doctor's perspective, which is like, all right, I don't want to be responsible for any permanent eye loss. Who knows? And even if here's the thing we all have to remember as MMA fans and as combat sport fans,
Yep.
it doesn't matter what the history with his eye is. In fact, that doesn't help our argument. This is a doctor.
It makes it worse. Yeah, it makes it worse. No, I 100% understand.
It makes it way worse. But I would like to have seen, for Nate's sake, not just for me, like let the guy go out on the shield, for God's sake. And if the eye, like you said before, if the eye gets to the point where it was completely swollen shut and the blood is trickling in, and like we're seeing that type of stuff. But yeah, but it's the ghost of New York, man. And there was one other thing I wanted to talk to you about in regards to that.
Okay, that's pretty much it in the main event, though, right?
That's it.
Masvidal looked really sharp. Let's be fair. Masvidal looked really sharp. He was faster. He looked like he hit harder, and he was throwing more combos than Diaz. Diaz afterwards said that
body work was there.
Yeah. Diaz afterwards said that he wasn't able to. He had an injury, wasn't able to run as much for this camp, so that he wasn't even going to start turning on until the fourth round. It is what it is. Maybe we'll see it again, but to be honest, I didn't really care about the fight anyway. So
yeah, you know what? I actually did. You watch the post-fight interviews with those guys?
No, I saw Nate talk about The Rock a little bit, and how it should have been Mike Tyson give the belt out, but
there was this one point during the post-fight for Nate where this guy, very articulate man, I think it was this guy contributor from Yahoo, and he's like, he's like, Nate, can you appreciate the irony and the BMF fight being stopped in such a fashion in regards to a cut? And Nate's like, yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. And he was like, could you really articulate what that means to you for me? And he stood up and he had to go. I said it to my wife. I was like, he doesn't know what ironic means. He doesn't know what that word means. And he actually stood up in the interview and went and asked someone what irony meant.
No.
Yeah, so maybe that was gonna be my point right there. Maybe give Nate what he's been asking for, just a little time to recover mentally and physically before we throw him back in.
He just took 3 years off, though.
He did, but he also had just came out of a war with Anthony Pettis.
He fought twice in the last 3 years. So
yeah, but
how much more time? How much more time does he need?
Well, let's look at let's look at how long he's been fighting. Let's look at the fight he just came out of.
I know.
You're like, why isn't this man dead now?
I want him to fight tomorrow.
He's just right behind you right now. He's like, hey man, you gotta get some cereal. That's all I got for the main event. It's like it wasn't that important fight, but I got a lot of respect for both those guys. And Jorge continues to be the new darling of 2019.
Yeah, he might be fighter of the year this year. He fought and won 4 times this year.
Yep.
So maybe we'll do that. Hey, maybe towards the end of the year we'll do an award show of what we think about the fights this year.
John Jones.
That's it. That was the award show. Thank you for coming. Okay,
right.
so now
wait, real quick. Who do you see Darren Till fighting next at 180? Because I got his opponent picked out already.
Till. Oh, I didn't pick and see who I wanted Till to fight. I think Till has to fight either Whitaker or Costa's post recovery fight, and then he gets a title shot. He's ranked 4. It's already almost confirmed that Yoel is fighting Stylebender next, and then 2 and 1 is Whitaker and Costa. So those would be the fights if you want to go up in the ranking. If not, give him Cannonier, and I think that would be a good fight.
That's a really good point. As I'm looking at the rankings right now, he's actually not even in the middleweight rankings anymore.
I am on rankingmma.com.
All right,
and they have him as number 4.
No, I'm the person I was gonna name. Is not on the rankings anymore. I'm on UFC's ranking.
Okay.
I was gonna say let him fight Luke Rockhold.
Oh, is Luke Rockhold even fighting anymore? And is he going to go back down to 185?
He and Chris Weidman were ill-advised, and they moved to 205.
Yes.
Whoever told those guys to go up had made a huge mistake. But since he's not in the rankings, then I would definitely have him go against. See, here's the thing. You can't have him go against Yoel Romero because Yoel is more than likely going to fight. So I would go for what Darren Till was going to say. Let Till fight Robert Whitaker.
Yeah, that's a good fight. That's probably the fight that I would make. If you don't want to wait as long as Costa's going to need to come out of recovery, then you give him Whitaker. If Whitaker wants to fight someone else, or Whitaker has a fight planned, or he needs more time off, whatever, give him Cannonier.
Yeah.
I think that's the way that 185 goes right now. After they announced Yoel versus Stylebender.
We did it, man. We solved all the problems for the middleweight division.
That's it. I don't have to cut the 185 anymore.
You can't cut the 185. All right, so we had some honorable, notable picks for a couple of fighters here.
Who do we think Kevin Lee fights next?
Hold on, let me get to this. Let me get to his washed out division full of scrubs so I can really give you an answer to that.
55.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Killer's Row.
Top 20. The top 20 is an argument for a lot of them for top 5. So I'll go first. I will go first. I think Kevin Lee should fight Dan Hooker.
Really?
Yes. Dan Hooker's 5. Kevin Lee is 7. Hooker's coming off of 2 wins. But he lost to Barboza, right? That's the only thing that Kevin Lee really has over him.
Ooh, you're trying to feed Kevin Lee to really a no-win situation for him.
Yes, yeah, because we need to see if he's going to stay at 55 or go back to 70, right? Okay. We need to see if TriStar is doing him right, or if he needs to go to a different camp, right? This second fight in that camp that he's had is going to be the test. I think you said last night that he should fight Paul Felder.
I'm sticking with that one.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Paul Felder would be a fun fight for him, for sure. But
there is no such thing as a fun Paul Felder fight.
Right. That was the irony in that statement. Yeah. And it would be a good fight. He wants to fight Islam Makhachev.
Really?
Yes. That was the talk after his win. They were supposed to fight at one point, and it got canceled. So they want to run that. The real issue is I would throw Kevin Lee even farther up the ranking and maybe even give him Dustin Poirier if he wanted to fight Poirier. But who knows what Poirier is doing, who he's waiting for, what he wants to do at this point. He's in a point in his career where he's looking at trying to make some money. But I think, because I just don't think he survives against Tony or Khabib.
I think Poirier is actually going to go up to 170. So here are my honest picks in regards to what Kevin Lee does next. Because if I look at the division as it stands right now, he has beat Edson Barboza, lost 2 times to Ally Aquinta.
Yep.
Right. Dan Hooker would be an obvious pick, a better pick for Dan Hooker than it would be for Kevin Lee.
Yep.
But that would give us a chance to see where Hooker stands against someone like Kevin Lee, see how the camp's working out, all the things you said. If we were just going to throw Kevin Lee back in there and say, hey, man, you know what? Because of that fight and given his history in the division, and the UFC has done this before, they jump him up a few notches and they give him someone like Donald Cerrone or Justin Gaethje.
So, yeah, but on this website, it has Donald Cerrone fighting Conor in January. I don't. I have not seen that confirmed anywhere else. That I know that is super speculation. And the last that I heard, it wasn't close to being done. I think everything was okay on Cowboy's side, but obviously Conor is a nightmare to deal with at this point. Gaethje is a hard fight for anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I don't even know who Gaethje fights next. Gaethje fights the winner of Ferguson and Khabib.
Listen, dream card right here. You want a grinding, grueling fight? You want to see something that's going to get the fans going? You put Khabib Ferguson main event. You give us not co-main. You give us Kevin Lee versus Gaethje because they're gonna want to shake it up. Everyone tunes in for that fight. If not, you got to do Paul Felder on Fight Night on Fox.
That's fair.
Or Dan Hooker. So I agree with that. Dan Hooker. The only reason I say Dan Hooker, it's not that it's not. That's a great pick on your part.
Yeah.
That would be a horrible move for Kevin Lee to call that guy out. All of this, like that's a bad fight for him. That is a bad fight.
Listen,
given Dan Hooker's skill set.
I get it. Right, Dan Hooker is actually looking like he's going to be super competitive in this ranking. He's sitting at 5 currently, but I think that's a good fight for both of them. You know, Kevin Lee, I think, is a top 5 guy in that division. I actually think Kevin Lee is actually way better than he gets credit for. I know he struggled in his last 37 fights before this,
but he's got potential.
I think. Well, after his head coach out of that camp passed away, he went way downhill. He was on a tear before that, right? And then he didn't have a camp he was at, and you know, he's training out of everywhere. I think now he has a solidified camp under his legs, and I think he's gonna make a run for. I don't ever see him at a champion at 55 unless Khabib and Tony both leave. If he does, then I think he has a chance. But as it sits currently, I think he's a top 5 guy, but not a champion. And I think he needs to fight Dan Hooker to prove that.
All right, I'll go with that. Who else were we picking a fight for tonight?
Wonder Boy.
Oof.
I have just a fan favorite pick for Wonder Boy here.
Who?
Have him fight Robbie.
Robbie Lawler?
Robbie Lawler.
Have they not fought? No, they haven't fought before.
They haven't fought before.
That would be a very fan-friendly fight.
That'd be a fan-friendly fight.
That's a bad fight for Robbie.
Is it? You think it's a bad fight for Robbie? Okay.
I think it's a bad fight for Robbie because of the counter striking of Wonder Boy. I mean, actually, it's a dangerous fight for Wonder Boy because if he gets caught by any one of those slobber knockers, that's it. So that would be a damn good fan-friendly fight.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for that. I don't want to see it on a pay.
Oh, I'm not paying for it either. That is an ESPN Plus card. It's a co-main on an ESPN Plus. Robbie already has a fight scheduled for the 14th of December against Ponzinibbio. So
right, you ready for me to blow your mind? My pick for Stephen Boyd there. Kelvin Gastelum comes back down to 170.
I had that thought too. But it doesn't make sense for Gastelum to fight someone who's not in the top 10.
Listen, it doesn't make sense for Gastelum at this point to do anything that isn't going to
just make him money before he has to retire.
Let's see. Okay, so where is Wonder Boy? God damn, he's all the way down at 9. I remember when this guy was supposed to be the world beater. He was supposed to be the guy that kicked Tyron Woodley out of this universe. Now he's down at 9. You're right. It probably wouldn't make sense for him to drop that low.
I just don't think so.
I say you give Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. If not your pick, then I would definitely give him. Definitely wouldn't give him Damian Maia because that's not a good fight for
Wonderboy beat Whitaker?
Yeah. Oh. Beat him at welterweight. He was Whitaker's last fight in the welterweight division.
Okay.
Starched him. Absolutely did.
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on a second. So that's the only time against Pettis is the only time Wonderboy's ever been knocked out. He lost two decisions to Woodley.
I'm
trying to look here.
He lost to someone else early in his career as well. Wonderboy. He got I think it was what's this guy's name? Friggin' Zombie Man.
Zombie Man.
Let's see. He's not even. Let's see. I can pull him up here.
See, this site is not very.
And he lost to such a weird. It's a weird guy too, man. This guy just recently retired.
Yeah, he lost a decision to Till. He lost a knockout to Pettis, and he lost twice to Tyron Woodley. That's his 4 losses. He had 1 no contest. He's only
no contest too.
Let me see. Trying to go back here. Oh, he drew with Tyron Woodley. There was a draw with Tyron Woodley. Okay, never mind. That wasn't a no contest.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Trying to look and see who else he fought. Everybody. He lost a decision to Matt Brown.
There it is. Yes.
So he's only been knocked out once.
Yeah.
For some reason, after that, we all wondered about his chin, but he's only been knocked out once.
But he's been knocked down in critical moments in each fight.
So is everybody.
But not Jon Jones.
Jon Jones has and everything done to him ever.
That was like poetic.
Yeah, I try. I really do. I really do try. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think we're gonna wrap.
Yeah.
We don't have anything else, unfortunately. Sorry we couldn't get this done in person like the rest of the video is. Enjoy the rest of the video. Yeah, I think that's it. Have a good night.